Hi everyone, Grant K here for the Flame Premium Learning channel. In the previous video, we started talking about the batch-centric workflow and going through the batch group. In this video, we'll look at the batch group in much more detail and how its design can enhance your overall user experience. So I've created a new desktop and I have imported media into the libraries via the Media Hub. Please feel free to do the same and to use your own material to follow along. Using the standard Flame user profile, you get a batch group containing 3 schematic reels and 1 batch shelf reel to start. You also get a reels group that you can ignore or delete, as you just want to work in batch and not within a sequence. This is the definition of the batch-centric workflow. Ensure the focus is on the batch group using the media panel. So batch schematic reels 1, 2, 3 and batch render reel are displayed as desktop reels, but they are part of the batch group. Just remember that at all times, the reels are also available through the batch group entry in the media panel. Now drag some sources from the libraries onto a schematic reel. Switching over to batch, the sources are immediately available in the batch flow graph for compositing. Go ahead and make a very quick composite with your media. So you've already added your media into batch, and as part of the batch-centric workflow, you did not need to use any reels groups as a stepping stone. This was not possible in previous versions of Flame Premium. Another fundamental point is that if you wanted to do something to the batch source clips that would require creative or editorial processes normally outside of batch, you do not need to strip out, match, or copy clips out of the batch group to do any adjustments. Just switch back to the timeline area to display the same batch media as clips in a reel or a timeline. You can use any editorial tools in the sequence or even switch to the Tools tab and use any module from here. The idea is that working within the batch group, you have access to all the same sources in all core creative areas, batch, timeline, and reels. They are just represented in different ways in order for you to complete an operation, but the media stays in batch. Any changes you make to this media will be instantly reflected in the batch flow graph. Even a simple example, such as adding or creating new clips in the schematic reels, will instantly appear in batch. If you were to take one of the source clips and cut it in the reels, you will land up with 2 clips in the batch flow graph. The first clip will still be connected in the flow graph, and the second clip will be sitting next to it. So it's great to be able to change core creative areas, and the relevant media is always there. But as you saw in the previous video, if you delete a source from the batch group, it will no longer be available in any of the creative areas for this particular batch group. Expanding on this further, if you delete a source clip not connected in the flow graph, you won't get a warning. However, if a source is connected to the current flow graph and you try deleting it, you will be notified that this selected source is being used. You can choose to cancel or confirm the deletion. But as before, the big benefit is that you can undo this type of operation. So if you're deleting something and realize that it was required for your work, just press Ctrl-Z to undo the operation. The undo operation will not only restore the clip, but it will also switch back to the creative area where you performed the operation. This is to remind you of exactly what was undone and in which creative area the undo was applied. Now there is one small thing I'd like to show you in batch. If you select the clips in the flow graph, it highlights the clips in the schematic reels. It's been mentioned a few times that these clips are one and the same. Now, if you wanted to duplicate a clip in the flow graph, you must not drag the existing clip from the schematic reel. By doing this, you will get the same message that it will upset the flow graph. Since it's the same clip in the media panel and batch flow graph, Flame thinks you want to break the clip's original connections and place it elsewhere in the view. In other words, you are just moving the same clip around the flow graph. This is of course undoable. Instead, select the clip in the schematic reel or flow graph and press Ctrl D to duplicate the clip. Since the clip is used twice in the flow graph, you will get 2 clips in the schematic reel. So remembering what you have in the flow graph is the same as what you have in the schematic reels, and you should be fine. Now let's look at the batch shelf reel, which has not been discussed. In previous videos, I said that the batch schematic reels contain all the media used in the batch flow graph. The batch shelf reel contains any media that you want to keep in the batch group, but not necessarily have it in the flow graph. This can apply to multiple renders, intermediates, or any elements you want to keep contained within the batch group. To add media from the batch shelf reel into the flow graph, just move the clip into the schematic reel. And just in case you forgot, you can drag media directly from the libraries into the flow graph. You do not need to use reels groups or batch shelf reels for that matter. Just by dragging into the flow graph, we'll add the source clip to the first available schematic reel. But a major benefit of the batch group being self-contained with multiple reels is that you can have a level of media organization not apparent in the flow graph. So even though flow graph representations are typically flat, you can use the schematic reels to classify and organize your elements within the composite. One schematic reel could be live action, another could hold render passes. In addition, when you import any files containing images or textures through the Action Import node, a schematic reel will automatically be created to host the media. This includes Photoshop files, FBX, and other supported formats. The idea is that you can add as many schematic or shelf reels as you need to keep organized. And this will equally be reflected if you look back at the timeline area and look at the desktop reels representation. Now, as you may have noticed earlier, selecting any source in the flow graph will highlight it in the schematic reel. And alternatively, if you want to find a source in the flow graph, select the clip in the schematic reel. Either use the contextual menu to find in schematic, or press Alt-F. This will center the source in the middle of the schematic view. Another option is that you can select a clip in either the media panel or flow graph and reveal it as a clip on a reel. Select the source clip and either use the contextual menu to find in reels or press the F hotkey. The creative area will switch to the timeline, and the sources will be revealed as the selected clip on the desktop reel as well as a batch source timeline. And at any point, you can select the source, or any source for that matter, and reveal it in the batch flow graph by pressing Alt-F. So you can view any creative area representing the batch group, and locate your media sources in other representations. The final discussion in this video is visual identification of the schematic reels and batch shelf reels anywhere in Flame Premium. Schematic reels are defined by a color icon. You can see this next to their name in the media panel, as well as the large reel representation. Shelf reels are defined by a black and white icon. So when looking at the reels in the batch group, you should be able to tell the types of reel apart by their layout and icons. And as a last mention on organization, you can also click on any of the reels and change the name to whatever you want. This is also reflected in any of the creative views of the batch group. In the next video, we skip forward to when you're ready to render your composite. We'll cover a lot of rendering options, including the token naming system. Please move on to the next video. Comments, feedback, and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the Flame Premium Learning channel for future videos.